They're the largest warships in the world, floating air bases carrying the world's most advanced aircraft. But what's the real status of the world's carrier fleet today? In this series of videos, we're looking at the heart of naval power, the aircraft carrier. Their combination of modern, evolving aircraft and drones means they bring firepower to wherever they are needed in the world. First, let's look at the oldest aircraft carrier in the US Navy, the lead ship of the 10-ship Nimitz class, the USS Nimitz herself. The USS Nimitz, CVN 68, is not just a lead ship of her class, she's a legend, and of early 2025, the oldest aircraft carrier still serving in the US Navy. Her construction began when her keel was laid down on June 22, 1968, at Newport News Shipbuilding in Virginia, and commissioned on the 3rd of May 1975. The time from keel laying down to commissioning was approximately 6 years and 10 months. In 1980, she starred in the film The Final Countdown, starring Kirk Douglas and Martin Sheen. This was about a modern aircraft carrier travelling back in time to just before the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. It's hard to believe that this was 45 years ago, showing how ingrained she is in the memories of everyone interested in naval affairs. Within a few years, Nimitz faced her first crisis. In late 1979, she steamed towards the Indian Ocean amid the Iranian hostage situation. In spring 1980, pilots and aircrews on Nimitz launched Operation Evening Light, the daring but ultimately aborted rescue mission for the embassy hostages in Tehran. However, Nimitz had proved it could respond at a moment's notice. Throughout the 1980s, Nimitz was a center of Cold War showdowns. In 1981, she participated in a freedom of navigation exercise off Libya's coast. On 19th of August 1981, two F-14 Tomcats from Nimitz intercepted and shot down two Libyan Sukhoi 22 jets that had crossed into disputed waters. Nimitz then turned towards the Middle East. After the TWA 847 hijacking in 1985, her aircraft struck targets around Beirut for nearly 2 months. In late 1988, Nimitz joined Operation Earnest Will, escorting reflagged Kuwaiti tankers, standing watch against Iranian threats. As the Soviet Union fell, Nimitz helped enforce the New World Order. In early 1991, she deployed to the Persian Gulf for Operation Desert Storm, launching air patrols and strikes alongside other Allied forces. In the aftermath, she kept coming back. In 1993 and again in 1997, her air wing enforced the no-fly zone over southern Iraq. Nimitz made headlines in 1996 by sailing through the Taiwan Strait during Chinese missile tests, the first American carrier to do so since 1976. In late 1997, Nimitz even circled the globe, and after returning in 1998, she entered a multi-year midlife overhaul. Like all nuclear carriers, Nimitz was designed for a long service life, roughly 50 years, punctuated by a massive midlife checkup called a Refueling and Complex Overhaul, or RCOH. This is a multi-year process involving refueling the nuclear reactors, overhauling machinery, and modernizing combat systems to prepare the ship for another 25 years of service. Nimitz completed her RCOH between 1998 and 2001, a process that took about 3 years. In March 2003, she relieved USS Lincoln in the Persian Gulf. An aircraft from her deck flew sorties over Iraq and Afghanistan in Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. In the 2010s, Nimitz adapted to new tech and new fights. In November 2014, Nimitz made history when a US Navy F-35C Lightning II landed aboard her, the first carrier landing of its kind. Around the same time, she prepared for missions against ISIS. In 2017, Nimitz sailed again to the Middle East. His Super Hornets flew many sorties in support of Iraqi forces. By the end of the decade, she had logged thousands of combat and patrol flights. Currently homeported in Bremerton, Washington, Nimitz has been keeping busy. After completing a short maintenance period known as a planned incremental availability, or PIA, she left Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in June 2024. She then passed a critical pre-deployment assessment called the Final Evaluation Problem in September 2024. After final inspection, she returned briefly to Bremerton in late November 2024. On March 21, 2025, Nimitz departed Bremerton for what is expected to be her final deployment. She sailed to San Diego to embark Carrier Air Wing 17 between March 24th and March 25th. After operating off Southern California, she transited the Pacific. By April 7th, she entered US 7th Fleet's area of responsibility, a region covering the Western Pacific and Indian Oceans. She made a short port visit to Guam before departing on April 21st. As of late April 2025, she was operating in the Philippine Sea. This final deployment underscores the relentless demand for carrier presence, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. The Navy even extended Nimitz's life by 13 months specifically to squeeze in this one last mission. This extension might suggest operational strains elsewhere in the fleet, or delays in maintenance schedules for other carriers, requiring the oldest workhorse to fill in a critical gap. However, Nimitz's time is nearly up. Her planned decommissioning is set for May 2026. Before that, she'll make one last home port shift, from Bremerton to Norfolk, Virginia, around April 2026. Once in Virginia, she'll head to Newport News Shipbuilding Yard, the same yard that built her, to begin a complex, multi-year process of deactivation and nuclear fuel removal. Her retirement marks a significant transition point for the US Navy. It closes the book on the very first Nimitz-class supercarrier, just as the fleet grapples with fully integrating the complex next-generation Ford-class carriers. Nimitz's incredible 50-plus year career is a testament to the endurance built into these ships, and her final extended deployment also hints at the challenges of smoothly transitioning air power capabilities while maintaining a global presence. I wonder and hope that consideration is given to preserving Nimitz as a museum ship. After all, no post-World War II supercarrier has been preserved, and perhaps the damage to her hull from the removal of her 2 nuclear reactors would be less extensive than the 8 from USS Enterprise. Nimitz will be replaced in the fleet by the second Ford-class aircraft carrier, the USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79. Her keel was laid down on August 22, 2015, and she was launched on October 29, 2019. Construction is nearing completion, reported as 95% complete by April 2025. Recent reports indicate significant pressure on the scheduled July 2025 delivery. Navy officials cited ongoing critical paths challenges, primarily with the advanced weapon elevators and the aircraft launch and recovery equipment. This suggests potential further delays, possibly pushing out delivery into 2026. Kennedy's construction time, from keel laying to potential delivery, will be roughly 10 years. This is 3 years longer than it took to build Nimitz, and shows the challenges incorporating new, advanced systems, as well as a strain being felt in US shipbuilding. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history of USS Nimitz. Please subscribe to join me on the next video in the series, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Until then, thanks for watching.